it's one of those things that's so simple on its face. You're like,
Yeah.
I can walk for 12 hours. Come on. Like, it's not hard. And yet to pull it off, or in business, take a day off and truly take a day off, doing the thing that you love. So like me, I always tell my wife I'm going to golf more. Guess what happens when I'm busy? I haven't golfed in 6 months, and all this stuff. And whether it's knitting or whatever, but so many times we forget to charge our own batteries with that, in that situation. And your clients, they can tell. Like, you're not as busy as you would be if you were fully recharged. You're just not, because whatever it is people love about you, sure, certain clients like, I'll never leave you. I love Gabby. She's my fave. And it's like, yeah, but the new ones that are like, man, she was kind of empty. She was kind of boring. She really wasn't paying attention.
This is a story that I'm like always afraid to share. I don't talk often, but I'm going to, because again, I think it's important that we talk about it. And I had a client who was a new client when I was going through this, and I talked to her on the phone, and I was like, oh God, this is not somebody that I want to work with right now. To sell this business, I was like already in the deal, but I was like, let me just take it, because it was also private pay. So I did. And she totally called me out in a session. And
as a consultant, she said, like,
as the therapy client, this was a therapy client. And I had got her like in November, and then I sold my business at the end of December. And I remember it was like January, because we had just started switching things over. And so what was happening was like my team was texting me because they're freaking out about new payroll and like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm trying to like manage that and also manage the person on the screen in front of me. And I was like texting, I like had texting on my phone, and she was like, I don't think you're here right now and you're not listening to me. And I was like, you're right. I'm not. And I apologize.
Give me a second. I just need to get this knife out of my back here. Wow. Yeah. And what was the relationship like after? I mean, it sounds like you kind of admitted, you're like, yeah, you're right. I am. Yeah. All right. I'm not here. How did the relationship go after that?
I think it was actually better, because we had there's also something in therapy we called like rupture and repair. And that's exactly what happened. There was a rupture, the issue. She felt strong enough to call me out, which is amazing, because a lot of clients wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they was shown up for the next visit, right?
And then I had to be accountable, and I could have pushed it, aside and like made up some lie, but I told her, I was like, you're right. Like, there was something happening in the business right before this, and that's not your fault, but I'm owning up to it. And like, I'm putting my phone away. Let's like take a deep breath together and regroup. And after that, I felt like there was more trust.
Wow. That's amazing, because the rupture and repair, I've never heard that terminology, but in the research we've looked at, the highest patient satisfaction. So there's a study, and they were looking at doctors of all, like internal medicine mostly, and what drove up patient satisfaction. And the highest measures they get are when the doctor makes a mistake, realizes it, and fixes it in front of the patient. So they said it's like demonstrating humility. But if I go, Gina, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know it's Gabrielle. I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Listen. And then they move forward from there. That little mistake, correction, admit it and correct, drives up patient satisfaction, because it overcomes that anxiety. A lot of people have that white coat anxiety where they're like, this person doesn't make any mistakes. They're superhuman, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's like, no, he screws up names tape too. She has to deal with business issues sometimes too. It's,
I believe it.
Yeah, she's a human.
It's that he builds that trust.
For sure. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Gabrielle, this has been an amazing conversation. I feel like we kind of went full circle and back a little, but it started out with, engagement, right? Being present, both in the work you want to do with your clients and then with yourself. Like, be you and maintain that. And if you can't maintain that, then head to Belize in January and get yourself right. So give us a couple more details about that retreat, because I'm sure there might be some people listening going, oh, that'd be awesome. And by the way, we're recording this in like August, September of 2024. So we're talking about January of 2025 is the retreat?
Yes. And actually, as of today, there's only one spot left, but there will be more. I have more stuff planned for next year, Belize and possibly Costa Rica. So you can get on my email list to learn more about it.
You look for beautiful countries with horrible cell phone reception. That's really where the magic happens. Yeah.
And I'm a sound healer. I bring my sound bowls all day.
Okay.
Yeah, we dig in, we do nervous system work, we do sound healing, we do a lot of fun, like expressive arts activities that I come up with. And then we also just have a good time. We go on excursions, we eat really good food.
So it's not a hotel conference room that just happens to be in Belize. It's you're out, you're doing stuff, you're getting experience, but you're surrounded by helpers, as you said.
Yeah. And I'm really big on not doing it in places like that where we're in a hotel conference room. I want to be immersed in nature and the culture. And so I specifically pick places that do that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Awesome. Well, Gabrielle, throw out your website one more time, or whichever one let's go with the website for your name.
It's GabrielleJuliano-Vellani.com.
All right. And that's where you can find details about that retreat and everything. And then if you come back from the retreat and you're like, the next stage of my growth is I just don't understand Medicare, good news. Gabrielle does that too.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by TrustDrivenCare. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of Trust-Driven Care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out TrustDrivenCare.com and see what's possible. Trust-Driven Insights. Real conversations. Smarter care. Stronger business.